Unruly Tomfoolery, a poem by Esther Clark, of what makes us.
In a world of his own rules, the madman who has no shame, excessive he is to most. Here and now I will give you a taster of the uniquely unruly tomfoolery of my dad. A cold, crisp evening in November 1994, smells of spiced apples and bonfires, burnt sausages on sticks, silver-jacketed potatoes baked in the embers, the sweetest fluffy clouds of melted marshmallows, breath of warm mist in the icy air, excitement and anticipation all around. We four young teenagers and our mum waited for the magic show to begin. Dad, our very own Guy Fawkes, had this year bought a different set of fireworks, 5 cylindrical cardboard red cases labeled marine flares. A positively pleasing purchase from Harrods, he thought. Dad's so-called Harrods was actually the local waste and recycling center. Our garden, in size, was small. We were surrounded by houses on all sides, boxed in, like all suburban homes. We were seemingly the same, but oh so different. Dad lights the first match. How a tiny spark could ignite such drama, the power it holds. For a second we stood, frozen still, unsure yet alert. Lemur eyes, wider they open. Whoosh! Thick plumes of deep red smoke rose. We screamed and we ran like scattering geckos leaving behind their tails. Even Dad, he ran. We ran into the house shouting, "Shut the windows! Shut the doors!" The smoke cloud grew larger and larger, higher than the house. A thick sulfur stench. A school science experiment lacking in safety and sense. Would it seep through the cracks in the house? The expanding swell of color thickened the air, bellowing, bulbous against the windows from the outside. We quivered together, hiding behind the sofa. What had Dad done? Would it ever disperse? Would the fire brigade need to be called? Full of hilarious shame and fear, a story I now hold so dear. You see, our dad, an electronics teacher by day and a wheeler dealer in life, gleefully rides full power against the grain of society's expectation of how we ought to fit in. An inventor and creator, Dad has always craved fame in such delusional ways. At age 62, dressed in his best suit, he auditioned for the X Factor. Tone deaf, this did not deter him. Or when he hand-built an MDF life-size coffin, a gimmick advertisement for his band, he carried it on the roof of his canary yellow Ford Fiesta, just for the attention and the kicks. Only years later did he find out it was his son who, in the dead of night, had stolen and buried the coffin in the local pub car park. All because of shame. Dad's car and the coffin. We children were always clenched fists, awaiting the next punt or trick. Many were off the cuff, many accidental. Whilst Dad so kindly offered to do my paper round one day, he delivered all the papers to the correctly numbered homes, but the wrong named road. Or when I was encouraged to sell a TV he had picked up from Harrods, fixed and ready to go, only to find it wasn't working when it came to the face-to-face sale. Countlessly, he forgot to pick us up from booked events. Once he pranced around in Mum's one-piece swimsuit, for he had forgotten his own. Another time, he chased the ravens at the Tower of London, even though clearly signposted no. One bit him, and quite rightly so. Everything he did he thought an entertaining joke. Even on his 75th birthday during lockdown, a video he posted, an invite to all to come celebrate in the local supermarket, only to find the police awaiting. So many embarrassing occasions for us children. Social survival lessons, for sure. Yet, in so many ways, the best. After we had cooled the bruises of our egos, we laughed. For our dad and his colorful ways have brought so many stories to our lives. These tales make our shared memories. Retelling the horror brings so much joy. We have grown resilient, with less care of what the world thinks. We care more for what brings us tears of laughter. Only now can I see in the moment of embarrassment before your pride stumbles, breathe in deep and breathe out. Repeat. No matter how deep the shame you may feel on the outside, no one sees the same. When you are about to feel that utter shrinking in your body, halt. Do not take the severity within. Take that breath, look up into the sky, and laugh. Laugh out aloud. Pushing away the anxious pressure, opening up room to share the experience, for then others too can laugh with you. Bringing together a love story to be told and retold again.